Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. First of all, let's thank Allah for His mercy and blessing for us. Secondly, my peace be upon the Prophet Muhammad SAW who has guided us from the darkness into the brightness. I also want to express my deepest gratitude to our lecturer Miss Beta for giving us the opportunity to present the results of our group discussion about recount text analysis. Before that, let me introduce our group members. Number 1 is Hilba Fitria Kolbi. Number 2 is Kania Indah. Number 3 is me, Mufida Salma Nabilah. Number 4 is Rudo Pangestu. And number 5 is Shafina Apriningsi. And this time, we want to present about 5 points. And the first point is generic structure of recount text. And the second point is purpose of recount text. And the third point is language features of recount text. And the last point is recount text analysis. For the first point is generic structure of recount text. There is orientation, event, and reorientation. Orientation includes who was involved, what happened, where the event took place, and when it happened. And for event, include information about the sequence of events that took place in the order that they happened. And for reorientation, optical closure of events or ending tells about what happened in the end. So for the next presentation, it will be delivered by other member of our group. For Shafina, are welcome.
Purpose of recount text. Recount are written to retell event with the purpose of either informing or entertaining their audience or both. In a simple word, the purpose of recount text is to retell past experience. Next, language features. First, using the simple past tense, past continuous tense, past perfect tense, and past perfect continuous tense. Second, using temporal sequence on Saturday, on Monday, on Sunday. Third, focus of the specific participant. Last, using the conjunction such as then, before, after, and using verb when stated. This is recount text analysis.
And now we would like to analyze the generic structure of this text.
First, orientation. The orientation is Percy Adams' life in a great neighborhood. He had many friends there. Percy woke up on the morning and took a long stretch. He had a good night and was very rested. Second, event. The event is first, he walked in the kitchen and ate a good breakfast. He waited at the door for someone to open it and let him out. He had things to do. Percy walked outside and looked around. Everything seemed fine. Then he went and checked on his friend, Al the dog. Al was still asleep and did not want to go with Percy. Percy walked across the yard and visited the mother bird and her babies. They were fine and were eating some worms for breakfast. They did not even look at Percy, they were busy. Percy walked across the street and visited his friend Pupa. Pupa was outside out in the sun. Pupa was glad to see Percy. They were great friends. Pupa said hello to Percy with a great big meow. Percy have a meowy back. At last, reorientation. The reorientation is Percy and Pupa played and played. They visited their other friends in the neighborhood. It was time to go home. They were tired and it was a good time to take a nap.
Thank you, Shafina, for your explanation. Before that, let me introduce myself. My name is Tiro Pangestu, and now I would like to present the orientation section. The orientation section of this text is Percy Adam lived in a great neighborhood. He had many friends there. Percy woke up one morning and took a long stretch. He had a good night and was very rested. And then our group analyzed the orientation section, which says who is involved. Involved is Percy Adams. Where did it happen? It happened in a great neighborhood. When did it happen? It happened in the morning. And what happened was that Percy woke up one morning and did a long stretch. And next is discussion about the event that will deliver the other member of our group. Farkania are welcome.
The event part will be presented by me, Kania Indah Warawati Irawan, NIM F02211131. Previously, I will read the text first. First, he walked in the kitchen and ate a good breakfast. He waited at the door for someone to open it and let him out. He had things to do. Percy walked outside and looked around. Everything seemed fine. Then he went and checked on his friend. Al the dog, Al was still sleeping and didn't want to go with Percy. Percy walked across the yard and visited the mother bird and her babies. They were fine and were eating some worms for breakfast. They didn't even look at Percy. They were busy. Percy walked across the street and visited his friend Bubba. Bubba was outside stretched out in the sun. Bubba was glad to see Percy. They were great friends. Bubba said hello to Percy with a great big meow. Percy gave a meow right back. Next, we analyzed the simple past tense from this text and our group found the following simple past tense. Because the simple past tense formula is a subject plus verb to plus object, our group analyzed the number of verb to of that text. Here is verb to of that text. Life become life, has had, take, took, rested, walked, ate, waited, looked, seemed, go, went, checked, visited, stretched, said, gave, and played. We analyzed the presence of conjunction in this text. There is conjunctions and the temporal sequence is first.
Thank you, Kanya, for your explanation. Before going on my section, let me introduce myself. My name is Hilba Fitria, and now I would like to present the past continuous tense. First of all, we need to know the characteristic of the past continuous tense. The characteristic of the past continuous tense is were or was and verbing. The result of our discussion, I was sleeping and they were eating some worms for breakfast is include the past continuous tense. Next to pre-orientation. Percy and Bubba played. They visited their other friend in the neighborhood. It was time to go home. They were tired and it was a good time to take a nap. This text has a happy ending because Percy was being happy and fun.
Thank you members of your great presentations. Thank you guys for your attention. If there is any mistake from us, we apologize. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, Miss Beta and friends. We are from the group of one, which membership is Number 1, Salva Sabrina K3321065. Number 2, Saskia Salsabila K3321067. Number 3, Seva Mardiana K7121259. Number 4, Sofatul Fikriya K71212263. Number 5 Suci El Hawa K71211312. Number 6 Yoga Prasetya Pamungkas K33211072. We want to present the result of the recount text analysis that my friend will describe.
Genetic structure. Orientation. Becky was waiting on Agatha at her house at the beach. It was a beautiful summer day. Even Becky had built a giant sand castle the morning, and Agatha took pictures of the castle to send to Becky's parents. It was a great big sand castle. Later that morning, Becky and Aunt Agatha went swimming in the ocean. It was fun to jump with the wave. Then they went in the house and ate sandwich and strawberries for lunch. Becky wanted to play on the beach that afternoon. Aunt Agatha told her it was too hot to go outside without a hat on. Becky did have a hat. Becky didn't have a hat. Aunt Agatha told her not to worry. She could wear one on the hairs. Becky tried on for hat. The pink one was really pretty, but it had a big bow in the back that was too long for Becky. The green hat was too fancy for Becky. She did not like that hat at all. The blue hat was nice, but it had an ugly bird on it. Then Becky saw a big brown hat with a yellow ribbon on it. That hat was made of straw. Reorientation. It was a perfect hat for the beach. It was too big for Becky's head, but she didn't care. I was a great hat.
Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Salah Sabrina from class EAP A61, and I want to tell you about orientation this text. Becky was visiting Aunt Agatha at her house at the beach. It was a beautiful summer day. Who? Becky and Aunt Agatha. When? Summer day. Where? On Agatha's house at the beach. What? Becky was visiting Aunt Agatha.
Hello guys, my name is Saskia Salsabila Anjeli. I'm from class AAP A61. Next. Past tense. In the text recount text this, there are some past tense to explain time in the past, such as had, built, took, was, when, didn't, told, could, had, was made, did not, saw, treat, and
Next.
Hello everyone, my name is Fatul Fikria for class EAP A61. I want to tell you the foot one of the verb. Wanted, when, told, tell, didn't, did, do not, called, can, tried, try, build, took, take, was, is, went, go, at, it, had, has, saw, see, made, make.
Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Seva Mardiana. I am from class EAP A61. Here I want to show you about conjunction and temporal sequence. In the part, the words that show conjunctions are but and, di mana but digunakan untuk menunjukkan dua hal yang memiliki perbedaan atau kontras. For example, the pink one was really pretty, but it had a big bow in the back that was too long for Becky. Yang kedua adalah and. Konjungsi and digunakan untuk menunjukkan dua hal yang memiliki kesetaraan. For example, then they went in the house and ate sandwiches and strawberries for lunch. Whereas the words that show temporal sequence are that morning, later, then, and that afternoon.
Hello everyone, my name is Yuka Prasya Pamungkas from class EAP E61. Next. Reorientation. It was a perfect hat for the beach. It was too big for Becky's head, but she did not care. It was a great hat. It is a good ending because had it was a perfect for the beach and a great head. Then there is some past tense in the reorientation. Number 1, it was a perfect hat for the beach. Past tense is was. Number 2, it was too big for Becky, but she did not care. Past tense is was, and past tense negative did not. Number 3, it was a great hat. Past tense is was. That next. That is the presentation on from the group 1. When there is a word and pronunciation of us, apologies. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, let me introduce ourselves. We are from Group 4, Class A61, English for Academic Purpose. We will explain our analysis of recount text. First of all, we will introduce ourselves.
Hello everyone, my name is Risma Widya Cahyani, NIM K7 121310. Next.
Hello, my name is Ristiani. NIM 7121245. Next.
Hello, my name is Sarina Villa. NIM K71121258. Next.
Hello everyone. My name is Teguh Marwantoro, NIM K71212775. Next.
Hello everyone, my name is Yogi Suprayogi, NIM K71211295.
Well, this recount text is the one that has been analyzed by us, entitled Anna's Great Day. This text consists of three parts, namely orientation, events, and reorientation. For the events part that is analyzed by us, namely the use of past tense or verb to, conjunction, and description of the present simple. First of all is orientation. I will introduce myself again. My name is Sarina Villa. I'm from class A61. In the orientation, we can find who, when, where, and what. Who? Anna. When? Tuesday morning in April. Where? In the kitchen. What? Anna's activities in one day. Next.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. I will introduce myself again. My name is Teguh Marwantoro. Then I will continue with our analysis of the event section on the use of past tense verb that use verb to. In the text, we can see the word excited, learn, serpent, love, like, at, when, arrive, call, start, to, and try. Next. Past tense. Verb to change verb 1. Excited change excite. Learn change learn. Serpent change serpent. Love change love. Like change like. At change eat. When change go. Arrive change arrive. Call change call. Start change start. Try change try. Talk change teach. Next.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. I will introduce myself again. My name is Yogi Suprayogi from Group 4. Then I will continue with our analysis of the event about present simple. In the events of recount text, we can find present simple which explain the description. The present simple in the text is Anna's mother is a teacher at Anna's school, and Anna is in the second grade, and her mother teaches fourth grade. Next.
Okay, thank you for opportunity. I will introduce myself again. My name is Risma Widya Cahyani. Then I will continue with analysis of the event section on the use of conjunction. In the text, Anna ate her breakfast and then she and her mother went to the school, and Miss Browner called roll, and then they started that test. The conjunction is and then. Next.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. My name is Ristiani. Then I will continue with our analysis of the reorientation. The test took over an hour. After the test was over, the class played outside for a long time. Then they at lunch. After lunch, they watched a funny movie and then drew pictures until it was time to go home. It was a great day. The ending of the recount text is great ending, because in the reorientation we can find a sentence that states the great ending, namely it was a good day.
That's all the analysis of the recount text from Group 4. Thank you for the attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Waalaikumsalam
wabarakatuh.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi menjelang siang teman-teman. Pada kesempatan kali ini kelompok kami ingin mempresentasikan hasil diskusi kelompok kami tentang recount text analysis. Berikut ada beberapa anggota dari kelompok kami, yaitu kelompok 3. Yang pertama ada Marcelia Anindya Putri, lalu yang kedua ada Rifan Latifah, yang ketiga saya sendiri Robi Rizky Nugroho, yang keempat ada Zalfa Setiana Putri, yang kelima ada Yulia Permatari. Okay, hello, my name is Robi. I will present of this part about orientation, this recount text. Gerald loved third grade. He had the best time each day in Mrs. Harrell's room. First, they did reading each morning. Gerald loved that class. They read great stories out of their reading books. Some of them were play and they all took turns acting out the story. They could work in their books. That was fun too, but there was one big problem in third grade. They had to multiply in math. Baik, untuk U-nya di sini adalah Gerald. Lalu untuk when-nya itu It's Day in Mrs. Harrell's Room. Where-nya is third grade, and what-nya is but there was one big problem in third grade. They have to multiply in math. Okay, next, silakan.
Okay, my name is Yulia Permatasari. You can call me Yulia. I want to share about events. Gerald did not want to spend time each day studying the multiplication facts. They cite the multiplication fact in class. His present called out multiplication fact at home. This was no fun for Gerald. He liked to add and subtract. He just hated learning the multiplication facts. Then one morning, Mrs. Harrell came into the classroom. She was holding a tape recorder, microphone, and a headset. She told Gerald the was in charge of the lesson the day. Everyone was going to be recording the multiplication facts. Gerald loved this. It was just like being a star holding the microphone. He held it out so everyone could be heard. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Rifan Latifah. I will be present of this part about events. Verb 2, call. Verb 1, call. Verb 2, like. Verb 1, like. Verb 2, hated. Verb 1, hate. Verb 2, came. Verb 1, come. Verb 2, loved. Verb 1, love. Verb 2, heard. Verb 1, hear. Thank you.
I am Zalfa Setiana Putri. I will present this part about conjunction in this text. There are two conjunctions, and the first conjunction is first. In second sentence in paragraph 1, first they did reading each morning, and the second conjunction is then. Then, one morning, Mrs. Harold came into the classroom.
Hello, my name is Marcelia Anindya Putri. I will present of this part about reorientation. Mrs. Howard told Gerald to make sure he told his class to go home and study because they would record the lesson again the next day. Gerald went home and looked it and every fact. He wanted to make sure he could answer it one the next day. Multiplication was good fun. The end of this recount text is happy ending. Sekian presentasi dari kelompok kami. Apabila ada kurangnya mohon maaf. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Aku yang buka ya berarti ya. Nah. Tapi suaraku kedengeran kan?
Kedengeran.
Ini berarti good morning, good afternoon atau apa ya? Pembukaannya gimana ya?
Bebas.
Afternoon lah ya, ngumpulinnya jam 12. Oke. Bentar. Maaf. Ulangi ya. Good afternoon, Miss Beta. We are Group 5. We are here to present our text analysis from Group 5. I am Padang Kumara, I02210229, and here are our analysis on our text. Next slide. Okay, this is the text that was sent. When I was 16 years old, I went to the United States. I was a student then, and that was the first time I left home. I went to Boston to live with an American family for 2 months only. How exciting. I thought how scared I felt. But I went all the same. One of the things I remember quite clearly was my arrival. To start with, I missed the train from New York to Boston. I was troubled, although the family was there to greet me. When I arrived at the family house, I lost my voice, so nervous I felt. For 3 days I did not say a word. Now I know that was an unconscious way to get familiar with the English they spoke. Fortunately, after 1 week I felt more confident. I started to speak a little and the people in the house began to understand me. How nice and enjoyable the second week was. The big morning breakfast, a snack at lunchtime, and early dinner at 6 p.m. became a routine. The shops were interesting, the vanilla ice cream was wonderful, the sports were attractive, and in a short time new friends were like the old ones. This experience was unforgettable.
These recount texts have synodic structure. They are orientation, events, reorientation. Orientation is when I was 16 years old, I went to the United States. I was a student then, and that was the first time I left home. I went to Boston and to live with an American family for 2 months only. How exciting! I thought how scared I felt, but I went all the same. Even is one of the things I remember quite clearly was my arrival. To start with, I missed the train from New York to Boston. That was trouble. I talked to family was there to greet me. When I arrived to family house, I lost my voice, so nervous I felt. For 3 days, I did not say a word. Now I know that was an unconscious way to get familiar with the English they spoke. Fortunately, after 1 week, I felt more confident. I started to speak a little, and the people in the house began to understand me. How nice and enjoyable to the second week was.
The big morning breakfast, a snack at lunchtime, and early dinner at 6 p.m. Became a routine. The shop were interesting. The vanilla ice cream was wonderful. The sports were attractive, and in a short time, new friends were the old ones. Orientation is this experience was unforgettable.
The orientation is when I was 16 years old. I went to the United States. I was a student then and that was the first time I left home. I went to Boston to live with an American family for 2 months only. How exciting! I thought how scared I felt, but I won all the same. Orientation consists of information relating to 5W plus 1H. What, when, where, who, why, and how. Specific to Recount text, we focus on who, when, what, and where. From the text, we can find that who is the writer when the writer was 16 years old. What, the writer went to the United States as a student for 2 months, and where, Boston, New York, USA. Next is events. One of the things I remember quite clearly was my arrival. To start with, I missed the train from New York Boston. That was trouble. I thought the family was there to greet me. When I arrived at the family house, I lost my voice. So nervous I felt. For 3 days, I did not say a word. Now I know that was an unsuccessful way to get familiar with the English they spoke. Fortunately, after 1 week, I felt more confident. I started to speak a little, and the people in the house began to understand me. How nice and enjoyable the second week was. The big morning breakfast, a snack at lunchtime, and early dinner at 6 p.m. became a routine. The shops were interesting, the vanilla ice cream was wonderful, the sports were attractive, and I'm a certain time new friends were like the old ones. Recount text generally use the past tense, past continuous tense, past perfect tense, and past perfect continuous tense. Thus the tenses use verb to, and from the bold word is in the text, we can see that this is true.
Step 1, step 2, visit, step 1, miss, step 2, arrived, step 1, arrived, step 2, lost, step 1, lost, step 2, felt, step 1, feel, step 2, did, step 1, do, step 2, spoke, step 1, speak, step 2, spoke, step 1, speak, step 2, started, step 1, start, step 2, begin, step 1, begin, step 2, become, step 1, become. Even. One of the things I remember quite clearly was my arrival. To start with, I missed the train from New York to Boston. That was trouble. I thought the family was there to greet me. When I arrived at the family house, I lost my voice. So nervous I felt. For 3 days, I did not say a word. Now I know that was an unconscious way to get familiar with the English book. Fortunately, after one week, I felt more confident. I started to speak a little, and the people in the house began to understand me. How nice and enjoyable the session was. The big morning breakfast I snack at the lunchtime and early dinner at 6 p.m. become a routine. The soup were interesting. The vanilla ice cream was wonderful. The sport were attractive, and it's sort the friends were like the odd ones. There are times when the text will use the present simple tense in description or new information found in the present. This is also is in this text as shown in the bold words.
Silahkan, Vio.
Loh, tapi kata Bre, yang ini nggak dibaca lagi, yang terakhir aja yang dibaca.
Ini ya, yang ada titiknya ini.
Recount text uses
Oh,
conjunctions.
Record check text usen conjunction. There are also conjunction in the text as seen from the broad words. Reorientation. This explains what's forgettable. This text does not have a full reorientation but rather a single sentence. This could be done in longer paragraph. A suggestion from Usford Bestenskens like this explains what's unforgettable. I can wait to revise Boston against my then because it was an experience I would do if again. The suggestion addition have the now information in princess tense and what's in the indicating past tense was.
That is all from our analysis of our text. Thank you, Miss Beta. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.